Paul is safe. Paul, his friends, and lots of other people were in a boat out at sea. There was a terrible storm. The wind blew, the waves rolled and crashed, the boat rocked and tossed. "We'll all be drowned," shouted the people. "No, we won't," said Paul calmly. "God has told me that we'll all be safe." But the storm didn't stop. Whoosh, whoosh. No one could even see if it was day or night. Then, scrunch! The boat was stuck on the seabed. But there was dry land nearby. The man in charge of the boat told everyone what to do. "Jump into the water and swim to the land," he said. "If you can't swim, hold on to a piece of wood and float to the shore." And that's what they did. The boat was wrecked, but everyone was safe. God had looked after them, just as Paul said he would. Paul writes some letters. Paul was living in the great city of Rome. It was an important place, full of important people. But Paul didn't see the city because he was kept in a house as a prisoner. He'd not done anything wrong, but he'd kept talking about Jesus, and some people didn't like him doing that, so they locked him up. Paul didn't stop telling people about Jesus, though. He couldn't go out and talk to them, but he could still write to them. And this is what he did. He wrote to his friends, like Philemon. He wrote to groups of people, like the church in a place called Ephesus. Paul told them about Jesus and how to live God's way. He asked them to keep talking to God and to keep following Jesus, because being a friend of Jesus is the best thing ever. Epaphroditus. Paul liked to write letters to people. He wrote about the adventures he had when he told people about Jesus. Here is the story of one letter that he wrote. Paul had been telling people about Jesus. Epaphroditus had come from Philippi to help Paul. They both worked very hard. Epaphroditus had been ill. He was so ill that he nearly died, but God made him well again. Paul decided Epaphroditus should stop working and go home to Philippi, where his friends were. So Paul wrote a letter to the friends. He told them that Epaphroditus was much better and would be coming back to Philippi. He asked them to give Epaphroditus a very special welcome home and to look after him until he was really better.